I posted on Instagram twice a day, every single day for 365 days without missing a post, without missing an entire day. And I grew my audience from 390 followers to just over 150,000 followers. In this video, I will share with you what consistency can do for your brand, your craft, and even your mental state. Hopefully by the end of this video, you feel a little bit more confident as a creator and you learn something new. If you're sitting there thinking like, why should I listen to this guy? If you don't know who I am, my name is Joe Granitto, and I am a full-time IT professional and a part-time content creator. I create POV videos showcasing my automotive photography, helping other photographers by sharing tips and tricks of the trade. I usually cover how I network, how I get my photo shoots, how I build my business, so on and so forth. In this, there are gonna be four main components I wanna touch on when it comes to consistency and how they impact it. Starting off, you wanna understand your limits. There are many different things to think about when you're trying to start on social media journey and you wanna post consistently and stuff like that. And the first thing that you wanna look at is what gear do you have available to you? If you do not own a camera, you do not need to go buy a camera. In fact, you can start with just your cell phone. If you do own a camera and it's a little bit older of a camera, you should just use what you have in order to get started. You don't need to go out and buy super expensive cameras. You don't need to buy the newest phones or anything like that. Whatever it is that you have available to you, you want to take inventory of it and you want to see how you can use it. Pretty much you can create anything with just your phone, from filming it, taking a photo, and even editing it, with very minimal software need and very minimal upfront costs. The next thing you want to think about when it comes to understanding your limits is the amount of time that you have available to create content. I'm a full-time worker and a husband and a recently new father, so I definitely don't have a lot of free time to be able to go and create content. But over the last year, I have grown to understand my limits and be able to fit in content creation into my life, not fit my life into the content creation. This is definitely an area that a lot of people struggle with when it comes to time management, because they feel like in order to be consistent, they have to put a ton of time into it. If you look at your content creation as a system and you find ways to optimize that system and reduce the amount of friction that you have when it comes to creating content, it becomes so much easier to just take an afternoon and create something. Like right now, what I'm doing is I'm filming at my desk that I sit at every single day for my day job. All I had to do was set up my camera and hit record and talk to you. And the other part about this is understanding your skill level. If you're just starting out as a content creator and you want to showcase some skill or some hobby that you have, understand that you're not going to make the perfect content that you see other people make. That you're not going to be super big on this editing, you're not gonna have any flashy things, you're not going to have this cinematic look to your content. You're just going to be posting something to get it posted. So understand your skill level. Don't overwhelm yourself by trying to learn new things right out of the gate. Just pick up your phone or pick up a camera if you have one and just start shooting things. Perfectionism is a color in multiple ways. In this last year, I've had to learn so much about ditching perfectionism, because it was definitely holding me back more than it was propelling me forward. I shifted my mindset to getting my work to 80% perfect rather than 100% perfect. Because what I've realized is that once I get it to the 80% mark, the amount of effort that it took for me to get to the 100% mark, it was a lot more effort than was needed, and it actually didn't really gain me a whole lot. It was very negligible of a return, but if I'm able to get my work to say an 80% level and push it out there to the world, I was a lot better at being consistent with it and pushing and pushing and pushing and getting that content out there. And also, whatever I think is not perfect, somebody else out there may think is perfect. So when you're looking at your content and you're thinking, oh, this is garbage, there's a crap ton of things I put out there that I think is garbage. But when I put it out there, other people enjoy it and they think it's perfect. So maybe you should just try posting something out there and seeing what happens. And understand too that although you do want to get better at your craft, you want to be better at editing, composing shots, whatever it is that you're trying to do, that will come with time. That will come with practice. Rome wasn't built in a day. Okay, my skills weren't built in a day. Your skills will not be built in a day. And anybody else out there that you see that is a professional at what they do, It took them years to get to that point. Understanding that as time goes on and as you get more reps in, the better your quality will be. I've actually had people who have followed me for numerous months reach out to me in my DMs and tell me that, hey, I've been following you for some time, and I have to tell you, the most recent photo set that you put out there is the best work I've ever seen you do. And I've had other people tell me that they've seen my quality of my work go up as I've been posting more and more. But in the first 6 years of my photography journey, I wasn't consistent. I was just taking pictures here and there. So my editing was never great. My composition was never great either. Not until this last year when I was posting every single day. It basically forces you to get better because you're seeing all this work put out there and you're seeing all the things that you don't like and you want to change. So you go iterate and you change those things that you don't like and you eventually get better. Get 1% better every single day. That's it. If you just start posting content on social media, you will learn how to get better at it as time progresses. And as you start posting and you're more consistent about it, it will become easier for you to be posting consistently. Again, I post twice a day, every single day, and I have not missed a beat. There have been some days where I've come close to missing it, and there are some days where I felt like, oh, well, I just don't feel like it today. Maybe I won't post anything. No, screw that. You should post something. And that is really the kicker here is like, it's a mental game. If you feel like you can't post every single day, find out what you can do as far as a cadence. Post 3 times a week. Post once a week if you're posting to a platform like YouTube. Like that is something that a lot of people struggle with, is just being consistent, but they set themselves up for failure when they say, oh, I'm gonna post twice a day, every single day for an entire year straight. Like that is honestly setting you up for failure if you don't think that you can do it. A lot of people feel like when they go into being consistent on social media, they need to have this detailed plan layout. They need to have the perfect scenario. They need to have the perfect equipment to get it done. They need to have the perfect script, all these things. But you don't. The only thing that I personally think you need to be specific on when it comes to your plan is your vision. If you have this vision of being a more proficient creator in the next year, be specific about it. Say that you want to grow yourself to a certain level and then work on it. But when it comes to your day-to-day activities, you need to just get yourself started, and then as you're going, figure it out. That's all life is. That's all we do, is we figure it out as we go. Definitely plan out some large scale things, but when it comes to posting your content, just post and see what happens. The more that you analyze the things that you want to do before you do it, you're gonna start falling into analysis paralysis. And all that's going to do is going to hurt you mentally, and it's also gonna hurt you creatively, because every time you try to go do something, you're like, oh wait, I can't do this because it doesn't fit into this mold that I've created for myself. That leads me to the next part too. Like, you do not need to fit in with anybody. When it comes to social media, people are so tired of the flashy edits. They're tired of the beatification of every single thing, and they just want to have a personal connection with the creator. If you think about it, in the last few years, people have been so isolated from one another that really all we want is to just have a community, and we just want to connect with people that are like-minded with us. So when you see other creators out there doing these amazing things and achieving great things, don't try and be like them. Try and just be you. Just be your genuine self, be authentic, and talk about the things that you enjoy, and people will gravitate towards you. If you're unsure of what kind of posts that you should do, there's one piece of advice that I've heard recently, and I can't remember where I heard it from, that really resonated with me. Think about the number one thing that you love the most and just talk about it. It could be something that you do for your job. Think of like software engineers that will record themselves doing the work that they do throughout the day. Maybe they're working on a project on the side of their day job and they bring you along with, or they describe to you what their day looks like. The kind of content I shoot is behind the scenes style content. So if you are some creative, show the behind the scenes. What does it take to set up your YouTube studio? What does it take to set up your pottery wheel when you're gonna go throw some clay on it? What does it take to do what it is that you do? Posting that kind of content is very easy, it's low friction, and people love it. And the reason why people love it is because sometimes people are just curious, what does it take to do the thing that you do? Or what does it take to get into the job that you have? And if you share that information with people from your point of view, they're gonna love you. The last point I wanna make is, You need to stop comparing yourself to others. In my field of work, it's very easy for people to look at what other people are creating and think to themselves, wow, that's amazing work. Like, there's no way I could ever accomplish something like that. I still deal with that to this day. I still see photographers that I've followed for a very long time do amazing work. I'm like, damn, I wish I could do that. But understandably, like, it took time for people to get to where they are. And so whatever you're seeing right now on social media, it didn't happen overnight. Like, they had to work towards that. They had to learn, they had to grow, they've gotten opportunities, but they've been doing this over and over and over again for years. And so when you compare yourself to them, you're only hurting yourself more creatively, because now you feel like you have to hit this standard. But the only standard that you should be hitting is the one that you set for yourself. And earlier, when I talked about you should just get 1% better every single day, what you do tomorrow should be better than what you did today, is pretty much what you should be looking at. And don't worry about comparing yourself to anybody else out there. I still personally deal with this from time to time. Don't get me wrong. I'm not perfect, and nobody is. But I take a step back and I look at what it is I'm looking at. And I think, okay, I know I'm capable of doing stuff like this. It's just I'm not there yet. Comparison is truly a thief of joy, but I also think it's a thief of individualism. Because when you start comparing yourself to others and you start trying to be like those other creators, you start losing focus of who you are and what makes you special. You can talk about the same things. You can talk about certain topics. You can talk about the same interests. You can show the same style content, like if you do POV stuff or if you do behind the scenes stuff. You can do all those things, but you need to be you, which is the most important part of this equation. See, there can be 50,000 other people out there who take amazing photos of cars every single day. But what drives people to me specifically is me. Not just because I take pictures of cars or because I show the behind the scenes stuff. And what drives you to the other creators that you watch every single day? Is it because they put out amazing work? I'm sure that's part of it. But really, if you think about it, it's them. You're drawn to them. So when you think about comparing yourself to other people, take that step back and think about why it is that you should be doing this. It's because people in this world want to hear from you. You just need to find them. And the more that you go out there, the more that you post, the more that you iterate on things, the more likely it is that you're going to find those people who want to follow you, who want to hear from you, who want to learn from you. Think of it like this. You are creating a giant friend group of like-minded people across this entire world who just so happen to have similar interests, similar opinions, and a similar mindset as you. That's what you're doing. You're casting out this giant net with your content and with your personality and with your interests, and you're trying to pull the people in who are just like you in one way or another. You're also going to find yourself with people who reach out to you and say, your work inspires me. The things that you talk about really helped me gain clarity and be confident in myself. You may not realize it, but the content that you put out there could be helping somebody, impacting them. So rather than trying to be this fancy influencer and this famous influencer, focus on being somebody that makes an impact on other people's lives. And to do that, you do it through this medium called content creation. You do that by being authentic, being genuine, and talking about the things that you're interested in. That's pretty much it. Like, that's the formula. You don't need to do anything special. You don't need to be anybody special. Somebody will have an interest in the same things that you're interested in. Now I could go into metrics and stuff like that, talking about like, here's where things really spiked up and here's where this video made me go viral. But I've already made a video like that before, and I honestly didn't have a lot of fun talking about it, because at the end of the day, the numbers don't lie, but the numbers are not the important thing here. The important thing here is being consistent. That is what you have control of. Posting as much content as you feasibly can within your bounds, and just be yourself. Those are the two biggest things that you have control over. As far as like how many followers you get, like that is completely a vanity metric, and it doesn't even matter. So that's why in this conversation, I'm not even showing the metrics that I have from Instagram, because I don't even look at them anymore. In the last year, I've gone from checking my Meta Business Suite every single day to see, oh, how much did I get this day? How much did I get that day? And how did this perform? How did this perform? To I look at the engagement I get from my community, and that's how I gauge the value of the content that I'm putting out there. It's definitely not an easy thing to be consistent. It is very difficult. And so I think if you set yourself up for success by understanding your limitations, understanding where you're coming from, and thinking about the things that you want to post out there up front is gonna make it so much easier for you. If this kind of video though has helped you in any way, or maybe gain some insight into something, feel free to leave me a comment down below and let me know. You can also drop a like down there while you're at it. And if you're still here, thank you. Maybe consider subscribing if you want to see certain videos like this or anything else later on. I just kind of like wing it at this point. I don't really have a whole lot of structure. So reading from bullet point lists is interesting, and I like it way more than scripting. I really hate scripting. Anyways, I'm just rambling at this point. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time.